Welcome to the NXT Podcast, your home for weekly NXT reviews and insight.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
Find all of your NXT news, recaps, and analysis right here. So with that being said, we only have one question for you.
Are you ready?
We thought so. Let's get the show started right now.
All right, everyone. This is Memphis Mark coming to you from Mullet Manor, and we're going to do the review for New Year's Evil. That's right, for NXT, and they come out of the gate with a couple of ladies going at it in Blair Davenport and Lyra Valkyria. And a good, solid match. Both of the ladies are strong. Their timing's good. Blair has a monster double stomp off the top rope in this. It looks like that almost ended it. Lyra's going to come out with some great moves, but she moves when Blair goes to hit her with a big knee, and the knee hits the desk. And that is the start of her demise, because she can never really carry on. Lyra ends up catching her when she is having another knee problem, and ends up with a big move off the top rope and wins the match. And so you're thinking, hey, it should be, let's see what the next match is. But no, Lola Vice shows up with her contract and tries to cash it in, and out of nowhere you got Tatum Paxley, scary Tatum there, jumping off and jumping in the match, or jumping in the Lola trying to get into the match. And Elektra shows up, and there you got a little brouhaha on the outside, but ends up Lyra wins the match. Then they come out and announced that Dragunov is not medically cleared. So they had a big match with Trick Williams coming up, and then Dragunov, and so no match. That's big news. And then they go into the no quarter catch crew in a 6-man tag with LWO and Carlito. Not Dragon Lee, but Carlito. And, Carlito, when he burst on the scene years ago with the apple and the whole deal, it was great. I just don't think maybe him being, I believe, a second or a third generation wrestler, I just don't think it was as fun for him as it was for a lot of other people that enjoyed him. But he is back, a little slower, but a lot thicker, better shape. And so a good match. I said that Dempsey's over in Japan doing something, and so, you got Bourne, Bourne, Kemp, and Gulak. And the match is good, but I got to say that LWO gets on the ropes, Carlito on one side and one of the gentlemen on the other, and they springboard or catapult one of the LWO members, and it looks freaking great. He flies through the air, takes them out. They're going to end up winning the match, but that particular move was just, it's worth going back and checking that out. Carlito does get a chance to get the apple and spit it in Gulak's face, so you got a little something there. They go from there, and they've got Mello and Trick doing a little promo, and of course Grayson Waller shows up and kind of puts himself in a match with Trick, and well, then Mello does one of those little oddball things again, where he just decides to put Trick's title shot up in this match, and of course Grayson jumps all over it. And so that's going to be the last match. But Trick looks a little perturbed at Mello for that. All right, we go from that. We got Ariana, Grace, and Roxanne going at it. And they've done a slow build on this. And it's pretty good. Ariana is actually pretty good in the ring. Facial expression's good. Good start for this young lady. Roxanne, you know about her abilities. But so a pretty good match. And then Roxanne is going to end up winning this match, but she gets, after the match, she jumps on Miss Grace again and puts like a crossface on her, but she won't relinquish the hold, which causes the refs to reverse the decision and give the decision to Miss Grace. So I can see where they're going to go with that. It should be pretty interesting to see how they portray that next week, but it is what it is. Then they've got our new management representation for HBK, Ava, and she comes out and kind of explains what she's doing there. That HBK, the brand's growing, and HBK needs help. So that's, I guess, where they're going to go with that one. I guess that's just the way it is. Then they do a little recap of the Tiffany Valen angle and pretty much go back to Halloween, where Valen came out dressed like Tiff. And that's where the whole thing started there, but leading up to it. So, yeah. And then you've got Blair Davenport kind of walking through the back, still hurt from the pop rocks that got put on her in the match. And so, out of nowhere, Nikita Lyons shows up and lets her know that she could have dropped her right then, like they had done her earlier in the year. But that she respected her, and so they have a little run-in, so that is going to be another angle they're coming up with next week. But from there, you are going to have the match between Tiffany Stratton and Valen Henry, and it's a loser becomes the other's servant. So Valen losing, she becomes a servant. If Tiff loses, then she becomes a ranch hand, cleaning out the stalls. The blonde hair, the whole thing, cleaning out stalls. Jeez, that's never been done before, but it should be pretty interesting and comical coming up. But the match itself is a pretty good match. Valen's been getting better and better. Tiffany, of course, is very good. So it looks, everything looks great, but her timing was good. Everything looks good, and in the match, Tiffany brings a chair in, and I've seen this angle, of course, several times, but it's the same old. You bring a chair in, it ends up costing you the match, not by disqualification, but by some stupidity or a little move you make wrong, and bam, that's exactly what happens here. And so Valen ends up getting the pin. So we will be seeing those promos coming up in the next couple weeks, I'm sure. Out there at the farm, cleaning out the stalls. So we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, match pretty good. I'm still kind of amazed by the flipping the guy off the ropes there, the catapulting earlier, too. So, anyway, they go into another little promo that's pretty much Baron Corbin and Braun. And Baron goes to Braun and presents him with the fact that earlier in the night, Ava had mentioned that they were getting ready to start the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament. So, Baron comes to him and says, hey, we team, we win. And they have their little comical standoff, but they both end up agreeing that, hey, might not be a bad deal. Not a bad deal at all, I guess. So that would be a good tag team, though. We'll see how it works, though, coming up in the future. And then they do a little spot with Oba Femi and the new gentleman in the breakout tournament, and he apparently is from Nigeria. And they show a couple little spots of the metropolis there, the largest area there in Nigeria, and so he's the king of there, and he's going to come over here, and if he wins, he'll be the king of NXT. Hey. We will see. But yeah, pretty good little spot there. Then they've got a little cut in to the ladies' locker room. And just so happens, Gigi is blocking Cora Jade's locker. The whole locker thing from the last couple weeks. So, that is setting up an angle with them on down the road because Cora and Gigi get in it over that. And then we got a quick little promo with Ridge Holland. And, they kind of go over his history, and how he has a tendency with injuries. They show his knee and both legs. His nose. There ain't no makeup making some of those look like that. They looked definitely they were for real. He's just saying that he's not a monster. He's just a father, a son, a brother, or whatever. And they're doing a slow build on him. So we'll see how that turns out. But then you go to the breakout tournament finals. You got Oba Finley against Riley Osborne, the young upstart, the young British man that Thea is so infatuated with. And this match, Riley does really good because he makes the match look legit. But this Oba is just a monster. Man, he's big. So every time Riley does get anything going, it just he gets knocked down. And Oba does a open hand slap on this young man's chest that is one of the loudest I've heard since the Big Show, back in the early part of the Big Show. Really, he's just so strong, and he sells somewhat, He does what he can, but he's just so freaking big. And he ends up, after a little flurry from Mr. Osborne, he does end up getting caught. Osborne does, and gets a big power slam for the win, and gets the contract. The power slam, okay. I can see this guy just needs ring time, though. Just needs ring time. He's got the look, the persona, everything about him. Just a little ring time, a little seasoning. Just a little seasoning. That's all that man needs. And then they do their little spot with OTM, out the mud. And they let both these guys have the stick, and they both do good. One's generally doing most of the talking, but he does a fantastic job. They both look the parts, of course. They talk the talk and walk the walk, as you would say. But what surprised me is I'm starting to like Reggie as a manager. Maybe that's what he needed to be all the time. But he does a good little spot in this, and it, I can see him taking this somewhere, because both these guys are so big. They just get their seasoning in, and man, they could be dropped in a storyline just about anywhere in there. But good little spot there. They got a little promo with Izzy Dane and Kiana James, and you want to be friends or do you want to make money? And she's pretty much explaining to everyone that Izzy Dane is money. So she is going to make that money. But, okay spot. Kiana always does good on the mic, though, and always in the ring. And she's the next one, I believe, she's ready to be called up. And that doggone good. But right after that, you got Trick and Mello in another little promo spot. And, Trick's kind of letting him know, man, why did you put my title shot up? So Mello does his way of explaining it. So they're on down the road. This is going to be a problem on down the road. So when the split up does happen, it's going to be something like that, for sure. But yeah, Trick does let him know that he wants to go out there by himself. Specifies by himself. self. Yeah, so, well, that has to have some kind of angle in there, right? And then right after that, you got Chase U and the MVP out there with Thea and JC. And JC kind of announces that she is going to take over the lead role in Chase U. That she will reach down to the bottom and bring it from the depths all the way back to prominence. Of course, Andre's a little wondering what the heck she's talking about and how they're going to do that. But, and, I can definitely see where they're going to go with that one there. You got, let me see, Lyra and then Paxley again being creepy. Little spots about all I can say about that one. And then they've got poor old Nathan Frazier. Because Axiom and Nathan are talking. And, that's how he's had his matches the last few weeks, because he'll get caught talking, saying something about somebody else. Well, they decide that they're going to tag up for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament. And so it looks good, but then he kind of steps in it again. Just seems kind of funny. He finds it really easy, but it's Blade and Kofi, and so yes, there will be a match next week. And but that should be good, because Kofi and Blade, I love watching these guys, man. They are such, when they say high flyers, I mean, like, they're way up in the atmosphere flyers. So should be a good match with those four. You got a little spot with Tony D and Stacks talking about now they've got a face out the mud and everything, and they introduce their family member Andriana. And she's been in the storyline for the past several weeks. So they kind of introduce her, give her coming out party. And right when they get to the car, they go to open the trunk, and there's Joe Gacy. They've really kind of changed it around with old Joe Gacy. But he says he got rid of the body that was already in the trunk, and he just needed a place to chill. So, I don't know. That's kind of interesting in itself. But, yeah, they're making Joe Gacy lovable and likable. So we'll see where that goes. But that's going to lead us up to the Grayson Waller Trick Williams match. And they got the new T-shirts for Trick out now and everything. So they're definitely doing the build with Trick. And this match itself is a really good match. Trick can go, man, but Mr. Waller Mr. Waller can go himself. So the match, they timed it out right. I really didn't see any mess ups. Said their timing's good. They've worked together before though, but Waller is kind of heads and shoulders above because he's had that seasoning and had that time in the ring. So it's worked out really good for him. He's on that main roster getting some good spots. So at one point he said he's fighting legends on the main roster, and he ain't got time for no tricks. But the match itself is good. And they had announced that an ex-NXT champ would be showing up at the taping tonight. And so this match carries on for a while. And then Mello runs out to do the distraction on Trick. So it's just wide open what they're doing with him. But then, out of nowhere, Kevin Owens shows up. And KO comes in and catches Waller outside and goes thumping upside his head. Sends him back into the ring. And Trick's able to, end the match there. But it wasn't so bad the way they did it. It just wasn't so good either. It's just, it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. And some weeks you can do these reviews, and it's hard for me to squeeze 30 minutes out of it. Then some weeks, it's like today, you can kind of roll through it kind of quick. So that's kind of the way this one was. The match itself pretty good. And now they're going to have KO and Waller going at it, I'm sure, on SmackDown or something like that. And of course, Trick slowly trying to figure out what's up with that when it comes to mellow him. So we'll see where they're going to go with that. You know, it's kind of interesting. So there's a lot of different ways they can do it. So we will see how it looks in a few weeks for sure. All right, well, as far as the show goes, that is pretty much a synopsis of the whole show there. And, I kind of saved a little time, though, because I wanted to send a shout-out to a wrestler that I kind of saw coming up just about his whole career. And he's a great producer and a coach now. For everyone, but it's most people have heard of Dean Malenko, the man of 1,000 holds. Never was great on the stick, but in the ring, just great. But he, of course, was a little handicapped on the fact of his height, but he was just so good and sound technically. Has always been fun to watch and great in tag teams and stuff like that. But Mr. Malenko, or Dean Simon is his real name, it just went through DBS surgery. And most folks are not going to know what DBS is, but it's deep brain stimulation. It's a surgery done for people with Parkinson's. And Dean came out, I'm going to say about 8 years ago, a little more than 10, right around 10 years ago, and announced that he had Parkinson's. And most people don't know this, but I was diagnosed about the same time. So this terrible disease affects people differently. It progresses and in people differently. When you're younger, like both of us, it's most people call it young onset Parkinson's, but it's either way it goes, it's debilitating, and there's no cure, but there is life with it. And some people can exercise and keep the diet right and do everything right, and like I said, it affects some people harder and stronger, and it's hard for them to carry on their day-to-day activities, and that's where the surgery comes in. When you get to a position that you can't carry on daily functions and stuff, you need the surgery. So anyway, Dean went through that, and I've heard he's been spotted around the AEW studios here in the last couple weeks. So I just wanted to congratulate him on a successful surgery, and glad to hear for him and his family's sake that he seems to be doing better. But that's all I'm going to say on that one. And guys, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedules to give us a listen for a few minutes. And I hope we did a decent job. But other than that, guys, I'm going to let you get back to everything. So this is the first show of the new year. Sorry I wasn't here last week. Health things and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, you know how we always do it. If you can, get out, help the shelters, do what you can, and of course, spay and neuter. But this is Memphis Mark, and I'm out.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.